We are no longer living in Vince McMahon's WWE. Still feels weird to say, but Triple H has taken over and I think he's doing a good job. Raw and SmackDown have been very entertaining the last few months and long may it continue. There are still rules though, and not everything some fans wanted to return are going to. And why? Because there are still a few things banned even under the hammer of Piledriver. And here's 10 of them. I screwed that up. Whoops. Please subscribe. I'm Simon Miller. Damn it. Number 10, blood. This is always a tough one because it blurs the lines. On the one hand, blood is an excellent technique for adding drama to a match, but on the other, the way to get it in wrestling isn't the most kosher of decisions. For those that don't know, research the art of blading. AEW has proven that even when you do it too much, it still carries weight, and the real problem is a 2022 fan reaction to it. Half the group think it's a blood capsule because no one is going to use a razor anymore in their minds, and whoever is left over is none the wiser. They just see the red stuff, which begs the question, why don't we just make fake blood the norm, but whatever. The point is, Triple H told The Ringer during an interview he thinks it would be irresponsible to go back to such a time, but he would say that, wouldn't he? When Cody Rhodes returns, I wouldn't be that surprised if at least one of his matches ended with a red fountain, the likes we haven't seen in WWE for a long-ass time. Number 9, Lego. Go and watch Ronda Rousey's YouTube video where she documented her own personal plans for her Extreme Rules match against Liv Morgan. She wanted to take the thing to crazy levels. One of her suggestions was to bring Lego into it as a diss of sorts, because Ronda saw Liv as a child, so why not bring toys into the mix? Now we all know that Lego is amazing and everybody should love Lego all of the time, but the reason WWE, and I presume Triple H, said no is because they thought it was too similar to a spot that had recently happened in AEW. Don't need those barbs being thrown. So this could just be the game trying to keep the internet calm. For that, Mr. Levesque, thank you. Number 8, Thumbtacks. And this continued too. Like I said, Rousey really wanted to go nuts here. But yeah, I suppose in the name of escalation, as soon as the Lego was out the way, Ronda or Morgan would have reached for some thumbtacks and left the audience in a state of worry. Always happens. It's not like WWE hasn't done this before and Mick Foley was just in love with them back in the day, but it all ties back into number 10. Do you know what these pins will do to human skin? Make you bleed. Again, while Triple H stopped it this time, I have a feeling this will be something on the menu at some point. You just have to pick the right time. And please know that I will be freaking out. They're thumbtacks. They weren't built to stick in somebody's back. Number 7, the traditional Piledriver. The cool thing about Triple H's reign is that the classic WWE style is changing. Wrestlers clearly have more freedom to do what they want in the ring, and it's resulting in better matches. This is great. Sheamus and Gunther were great proof of this, but the one thing that remains on the no list is the Piledriver. And I do get it. From Stone Cold Steve Austin to Kurt Angle, there have been serious injuries because of driving somebody's pile, and when that's the risk, it's not worth it. I still get why other promotions allow it, but it's not like there isn't a bunch of devastating moves we can rely on. The surprise roll-up, for example. Look at it this way. If we do let them happen and something bad goes down, we're all gonna ask why we just didn't leave it be. Wrestlers' safety must come first. Number 6, licensed themes. When the White Rabbit teases started, everybody mentioned that the song of the same name by Jefferson Airplane was playing in WWE arenas. And it's true, it was during commercial breaks. At no point did it appear on Raw or SmackDown proper because that would have cost the company a pretty penny. And straight up, they don't want to do that. Which is fine! They have an in-house band to create themes, so it would be odd if they shelled out for real songs. But that doesn't mean it's not a shame. Using actual tunes is always great because not only does it bring about some credibility, but when you are in your real life and you hear it, you feel all warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum. This happened with me in Jungle Boy's theme recently, and I actually smiled. I am a nerd. I'm sure there will be exceptions to this rule, especially as Ronda Rousey is still entering to Joan Jett, but it doesn't look like this is a priority, even in a post-Vince McMahon world. Ah well. Number 5, swearing. No matter how much we may have sworn during the Attitude Era that Triple H was such a major part of, he can't do it now. This is all due to the USA Network and Fox who air Raw and SmackDown, because if they don't want any F-bombs, you ain't getting any F-bombs. That's it. There's no room for maneuver. We may get the occasional shit, but even AEW has toned that down because, again, the network told them to calm their boots. Really though, you don't need it. South Park proved years ago this loses its meaning pretty quickly, and you're better served investing in other language to make your point. Be creative, damn it. Like when Drew McIntyre called Roman Reigns the tribal queef. Not sure I'll ever get over that, but I suppose that was the idea. Number 4, unscripted promos. because they're still there and they're just used better. For as mentioned, the likes of Drew McIntyre now have far more freedom to what they're allowed to say, and there is no way Sami Zayn is being scripted, but by and large, the same process is in place. Somebody hands you a piece of paper and you've got to go and make it work. The joy is that today you can ask for some revisions or make suggestions, and the powers that be will listen. This wasn't apparently the case under Vince McMahon, who would double down if you dared ask to shake it up. That was never going to help. If you don't believe in what you're saying, it's always going to sound awkward. This will likely be a constant moving idea too, as Triple H looks at it on a case-by-case basis. And don't forget there are some wrestlers who have admitted they enjoy all of this. Even the likes of Kenny Omega said if he ever joined WWE, he would be happy to work under their guidelines. I think the proof is on the screen right now. Everything just seems so much better. Number 3, full freedom at the announce table. No, this is not the name of my brand new EP, and it's quite clear that the WWE commentators no longer have somebody shouting in their ear. Just go and listen to Mick Foley's stories about his short run as an announcer to hear how awful this could be. Mrs. Foley's baby boy was actually offended due to how insane McMahon was. That is terrible. Everyone, including Michael Cole, has benefited from this, and it really is a breath of fresh air. But let's not pretend we can just throw all the rules out the window. WWE Universe is still a very much pushed term, and you'll always get those little tidbits where somebody goes, "It's perfectly legal," 100 times in an ODQ match to underline over and over that it's anything goes. So the system of having a producer in your listening hole is still present, and if we are to go with what Jim Ross has said about AEW, he's never heard Tony Khan's voice once. And I'm not saying that one is right and one is wrong either. Well, no, that McMahon approach is totally bonkers. But do not think it is the inmates running wild now. There's still lots of protocols. That's just what happens when you're the size of WWE. Number 2, real names. Right, here we go. I am just gonna say it. I don't want real names in wrestling. If I were ever signed to NXT, I would pitch to be Derek Manpower the same day, and some of them are so nutty, I think it's great. I mean, somebody once decided to call Nick Nemeth Dolph Ziggler. This is the world I want to live in. It's certainly nice that Triple H has rebuilt certain wrestlers' titles, such as Matt Riddle and Tommaso Ciampa, but I understand why any company would want to have their own trademark, make more money that way. I'm not saying there's not issues to that, but it doesn't take a genius to figure it out. If you think this plan is going to stop, though, well, I doubt it. Number 1, references to Vince McMahon. When was the last time you heard Vince McMahon's name on WWE TV after Triple H took over? This does make sense because McMahon's exit from the company was controversial to say the least. Let's face it, he didn't want to go. Even Shawn Michaels did an interview recently where he said Vince would joke that when he dies at the gorilla position, finish the show and then sort out his body. That's dark stuff. You'd have to guess this will change at some point once enough time has passed. But as of now, you gotta figure Paul Levesque has told his roster not to mention any of this. Wrestling is truly bonkers. Know of anything else that Triple H has still banned in WWE? Make sure you let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Then head over to WhatCulture.com where you can read articles like this with your eyes. Please do come follow us on social media at WhatCultureWWE and Simon316. And we do have a lot of videos. They're just waiting to be listened to. My name is Simon from What Culture. Thank you very much for joining me as always. Go out there and have the best damn day of your life. I'll see you soon.